Hello and welcome to a Fresh Designer Talks. I'm Florian, and just a couple of months ago I have been at the really beginning of the UX design career. So now I'm at a really different point, and it's interesting to share because if you start new, the knowledge gap is a little bit smaller, and I think that it can create a really valuable learning experience. So first things first, if there is really anything that I can advise on learning fast as a UX designer, it is that you should find someone that teaches you the UX design. There's a lot of great content out there in YouTube and in the internet, but it's also really differently organized, and it's hard to grasp. So I recommend to find a mentor or a school. I did it with the school called careerfoundry, and I'm going to put the link to the school down below. They have a lot of free valuable content and also the paid classes that I've been doing. If you are a citizen in Germany, you might be even eligible to get it paid by the government. So you should definitely check that out. So in this mini series that I'm creating, I'm going to talk about the process as a UX designer, and I'm going to describe it through something called user-centered design process, which is a good way to get to grasp a lot of aspects of UX design. So let's have a look at how that plays out. Let's have a look into the UX design. All right, this what you see here is the prototype that I have created using the UCD, user-centered design method. Basically, I'm going to use this prototype to showcase one of the most important things in the beginning is, I'm going to go into that a bit deeper, is to choose what you are actually designing. In some cases in the real world, you wouldn't have this option because you're working for someone, but there has to be some background behind even what you are designing. And it's also a nice showcase to see what can be one of the more final deliverables of a UX designer. This is not the only deliverable. There are several things that can be delivered throughout the UX design process, like persona and so on and so on. A prototype in high fidelity is one of them. The thing about the prototype is that it's created step by step, and it's not only created by things that you personally like, but rather it's a result of things that have come up through user testing and through reiteration of the process, applying design principles and so on and so on. So what I was talking about earlier, the key thing in the beginning is that you don't design an app just because you want to design this particular app. Of course, you could do that, but the core idea is that you have some sort of a problem that you want to solve. You want to create value for someone or for a group of people, or for a company. There's always some core idea behind it, and to be specific about this is really important in the beginning, to define what do you want to solve with your UX design. And yeah, I'm going to use this app that I have done to make this example. So let's go into it. This is the prototype, little animation in the beginning. It's called Pandit. Talk to your favorite content creators and experts from virtually any area. So the key idea behind it is that picture you are surfing on YouTube, looking some videos. You love travel, for example, and you find this travel vlogger that you really like. It's kind of an idol, and you reach out to him in the comments but he never responds because he is a busy person. So more often than not, this is actually the case, that it's not too easy to reach out to content creators just like that, because they are people, they are busy, they have their schedules. The core idea of this app is to create a platform that brings value to users just like us, that want to get in touch with content creators, but also to bring value to the content creators through monetization, through engaging with their communities, doing something for charity, and so on and so on. Just having a platform, another platform to increase their channel, basically, their appearance, online appearance. And also, like I said already, with monetization. So this is the core idea behind it. This is the problem, and this is how I'm intending to tackle it. And there are various steps. I'm not going to go into detail just yet. In this video mini-series, I'm going to explain other steps of the UX design process. But just to say the basic, we define the problem of that we want to solve. We create a concept, and then through several iterations, we polish the concept. And to make this clear, like even this really simple login screen that we are seeing here, I needed several iterations to reach to that level. So I had to do different versions, compare how they work, called preference testing. I have done several usability tests, have people interact and see how they click through it. And with all this feedback, the prototype that we can see in front of us now is the one that has been created. Just for comparison, this is one of the earlier designs. Also, this is considered a high fidelity design, so this is not like super early, but it's one of the first high fidelity designs, and you can really see the difference that I have. For example, here I was imagining it's good to just put the email, put the password, confirm the password, and so on, to facilitate the creation of an account, but it would just confuse most of the people, as I figured out in the test. And also when you are typing your email here, you get distracted, you come back, you can forget what you were typing, for example, and then you wouldn't have this indication that it says email anymore. So this is how I changed the look and feel of that. So let's go back to the one that we were before. All right. So we are now a new user, first time to the app. We want to get in touch with someone that we saw on YouTube who is a travel vlogger. And so let's go ahead. Let's go through this process. I should full screen it. Yes, that's better. All right. Here you can see what I was talking about, how I changed the layout. I'm not going to go too much into detail at this point. It's just a showcase how it can look like in the end. So we have this little onboarding, the panda explaining us what we can find here, and also how we can help us out if we get stuck somewhere. All right, this is nice to know. We got a little animation here, and we are in the dashboard. We can find some channels based on our previous activity, if we had a previous activity. In this case, this is just a template. As a really new user, we would have like really random things showing up here based on trends, for example. We have videos, and we can see here we have some articles as well that we can read. All right, nice, sounds good. So we know already what we want. theoretically we could go do some profile stuff. This here is the in-app currency that I was choosing not to use the real currency in this case to give it a little bit of a game feeling. We have different other options here and the menu buttons and so on. So let's go ahead. We know already we want to search a travel logger. So we have the search bar popping up. We would now type with our phone and we're gonna simulate that. And we're gonna get some recommendations here. So we search for travel vlogger and we come to the search results. Don't get distracted too much by that these things here, these elements are a lot alike with what you saw in the start screen. Like I said, these are kind of templates that I used in the creation of this app. Yeah, so we can even customize the search filters. They come in nicely from the site. My computer is a bit slow right now. We can adjust this. We can say, okay, we only want to see channels, or we want to only see videos, or only see posts. So let's apply the filters. Here we can see which filters we have applied. We can delete them again. Basic things, but it's this one I actually added relatively late into the process because it appears basic, but to really some things really appear through testing how important they can be. So okay, let's go ahead and check out this guy. This is the one that we found on YouTube already. This is his channel on Bandit. Cool, we found him already. Let's see what he has. Okay, he does travel coaching, money coaching. We can subscribe to him here. We can have a direct message. We can write him, and then he will be obliged to answer us because we actually pay this in-app currency for it. Or we can book a video call. We get some channel statement. We can see some of his videos, and we can browse a bit more. Like the prototypes are really interactive. I used an app called Figma to create this prototype. There are other apps that can be used like Adobe XD or Sketch and many more. Figma is one of the industry standard apps, let's say, and I can really recommend to use it in case you want to get into this field. So yeah, we can see some reviews here, and as you can see, it really behaves nice. The design stays consistent. We have the Android interface here as well, which is just to give it a bit of a real touch. But in the end, this could be Apple as well, or could be a slightly different interface. Okay, so let's go ahead and book a video call. We have this calendar popping up with some pre-selected things. This is because of the nature of the prototype. Technically, we would be able to select all these available dates, and then we can choose a time that is available on this day, and then we get some list of what we just selected. We can edit it, we see the price, and we can confirm and pay with the rubies in-app currency. We could now export it to our own calendar on the phone, or we just continue. And this is more or less what I have done for this prototype. There are some other side features that I just implemented for the general concept. I can show that. We have the expert area. We have the video view, of course. I skipped that now. And yeah, if we are an expert ourselves that we want to offer this service, then we will have an interface that looks a bit similar to that. This is like a first concept. This would be a feature that would be introduced in one of the upcoming iterations. And as you can see, for example, here I chose another color scheme to make it clear that now I'm not in the normal area anymore. Now I'm in the expert area as being an expert, as being a content creator. So yeah, a lot of thought goes into this process. and by the end of the day you have something that looks a bit like this, a little bit of eye candy. I mean, you can present your work in a lot of different ways, and this can add nice to the portfolio. So this is one of the deliverables that you can have as a UX designer. This is not the full process, so in the next video I'm going to be talking a bit more about the user-centered design process and its first steps. If you like these kind of videos, and if you like the content, if you want to get notified about upcoming videos, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, and press the little bell button down here. And thank you a lot. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.